Yo, what is going on, guys? I wanted to do a quick video kind of reflecting a little bit on Edge of Fate and Ash&Iron. We've got the Renegades expansion going live tomorrow morning, and I thought that this would just kind of be a good time to kind of catch up and share our thoughts as a whole about Edge of Fate and where Destiny is going sort of from here. I truly believe that Edge of Fate, that when we look back on Edge of Fate, it's going to probably go down as one of Destiny's worst expansions, if not the worst. I think that the idea in implementing all of these new changes and all of these new things really sort of backfired on the game as a whole. And this is a prime example of Bungie's one step forward, 10 steps back that I feel like has kind of plagued them as a studio from day one. Most of the changes that came with Edge of Fate sort of felt half-baked and flawed from the jump. Nothing really worked, I think, the way that they maybe thought that it was going to, or maybe the way that it should have. And that was something big that I think the takeaway for the community was something that they were just like, man, we're not having this, right? And I feel the same way. I enjoyed the campaign in Edge of Fate. I know a lot of people didn't. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the narrative. I did not mind the matter spark and the abilities that they introduced. For me as a whole, I was kind of like, all right, cool. The problem though is that once the campaign was done and it opened up this giant grind to hit, whatever the power cap or the level cap was, people started to see the big issues with the portal. Again, this is going to be this thing where it's like, oh yeah, Edge of Fate, the portal. The idea of doing one mission over and over, or selecting from 6 missions or 10 missions, depending on what category you were picking, again, was just a horrible decision from the developers. And again, I think that this is going to be something that years from now, when we talk about Destiny 2, Edge of Fate, not necessarily where did it go wrong, but this is going to be talked about as like, man, what a blunder, what an epic fuck up on the part of Bungie to try to, and I've said this before, but to try to funnel all of their player base into, again, 6 activities or whatnot. I think the other problem was that in the time since the release, they've had to spend so much time and so much resources on implementing changes, fixing broken systems, or completely walking back certain changes that they made with Edge of Fate. So again, for me, this whole thing just sort of backfired. And I think that it has soured the game for a lot of players. And I can't speak for, everybody out there playing Destiny, but I know that with my core group of friends that were once on nightly, a lot of them have given the game up and have no desire to come back to it. To them, it's just like, hey, this is just sort of a dead game now, which ushers in the idea of where are we going from here? We have Renegades coming out tomorrow. And I think that Bungie, they hosted this big content creator event a couple weeks back, invited, I think it was, the reports were saying 40 somewhat content creators out to their headquarters to play all the stuff, use all the weapons. And then you saw all these videos go up. And to me, and I've seen kind of this sentiment online, is like, they took away any mystery that the game has, right? They've shown too much. I think it's one thing to put out a Vidoc. I think it's one thing to put out maybe some reviews of some weapons or hey, what's the general feeling? But I mean, we've got people using the dungeon weapons before the dungeon has even come out. And, I think a lot of players sort of feel like, hey, and look, it's a double-edged sword, because you want to create hype for this upcoming expansion. So you want people to see it, but then you also want people to be like, hey, we want a mystery. We want to discover things for ourselves, rather than having countless videos just sort of be like, here's the thing. Here's the meta. Here's how to play. Here's how to get this. And look, I don't want to speak for everyone, but yeah, for me, and I've stayed away from a lot of videos. There was a handful that I watched, but there's a lot that I've just kind of skipped past. But yeah, it does sort of take away a little bit of the mystery of the game. We'll see. We're going to stream Renegades tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. And, we'll report back on it. There's been rumors of Destiny 3 being a very, very early development at Bungie. I suspect that if those rumors are true, we will hear about that more next year when they put out their roadmap talking about what's to come. And I got to imagine that at some point, Destiny 2's got to kind of go on like airplane mode hiatus sort of thing to allow the developers to work on Destiny 3 in some sort of, in a bigger capacity. But we will see. I think if they do not announce it, and, these rumors come up as, as false or whatever, I think that unfortunately the player count is going to continue to kind of dwindle. And I think the writing, like the clear writing on the wall is that we need a Destiny 3. We need a true sequel. And I saw some content creators talking about this, but a true sequel where it's like, hey, we're starting all over. It's a different timeline, it's a different time or different timeline. It's all new stuff. It cannot just be, hey, here's your Titan Hunter Warlock. You're going to grind for some weapons. We've reskinned some shit. Here's some reprised raids from Destiny. Like, it's got to be brand new. It's got to feel fresh. It's got to feel like a fresh game. And I think that, where we've been at for a while now is that the visuals and the way that Destiny 2 plays, the formula is starting to feel very, very dated. And, look, no question they can put out a banger Vidoc or a banger, cinematic launch trailer. But when it comes down to it, I think that they keep sort of misstepping and missing the boat on some of their releases. And again, it's a shame because the final shape was such a beautiful send-off. It was such a beautiful way to kind of summarize and end this kind of light and dark saga that they had been working on for so long. So then to go right into episodes, which I think for me were just not it, and then to go right into Edge of Fate, which again was just not it, to then go into Ash&Iron, which was, I don't even know what that was. We talked about that in another video, but I think it left people being like, wait, what is going on? Again, we're going to Renegades, the first time that Bungie has collabed with another studio on an IP, this whole Star Wars and Destiny kind of mashup thing, which I know a lot of players were like, ugh. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I do not care about the Star Wars implications and the crossover stuff. I just want Destiny to be fun. And from what I've seen, it just sort of, and again, what some of the content creators have said is like, hey, look, it's more Destiny, right? Is this going to save Destiny? No, it's just more Destiny. And I think that that's the problem, is that people are looking for some sort of revolutionary thing to happen. And I think that the only way that can happen is probably with a Destiny 3. So again, I appreciate you guys coming in and checking out a video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe down below. We will see you guys tomorrow morning to stream Renegades. And yeah, we'll let you guys know our thoughts. As always, guys, thank you so much. Peace.